Welcome back to our fifth in the series of Troubleshooting DS Control Point. In today's video, we're going to deal with reports in DS Control Point. An important note is that reports can only be run on Digital Century systems. On the DX series of products or Master Control, reports are not able to be run. In order to use DS Control Point reports, first we must connect to a system. Once connected, we go into Setup and click on Digital Century Reports. Once we click on Reports, it'll ask us where we want to save it. By default, this is saved to the desktop. Once we've selected the location we would like or accepted the default, click Next. Once we've selected the default location for saving our reports, the next screen is our systems. Under Available Systems, those are the systems that are available to run the reports. On the right-hand side, under Existing Systems, those are the systems we currently have selected. Once we move a system here and click Next, that means we would like to see a report from that system. Once we've selected our system and click Next, we're brought to the Configure Report screen. Here, we can select either a PDF or HTML format report. We can use the same configuration for all systems. We can create separate report files for each system. And then we can view either the last 7, 14, or 30 days. Now, starting with the top of the list, I'm going to get a brief overview of the reports and then focus on the reports that are going to give us the most benefit when troubleshooting. Now, the three reports that will provide the most detail to us for troubleshooting are going to be the camera usage report, the activity report, and the configuration report. Now, with our reports selected, we'll click Next. For the purposes of this video, we're only going to run a report from today. Now, once we click Next, you'll be presented with this screen. Now, we do get a few calls on this. You have to click Finalize to begin the export process. This is basically asking you to say, okay, your previous selections look good, and you do want to run those reports. Once you click Finalize, DS will begin building the reports and deposit them in the selected location. Once DS has finished extracting the reports, you can click Close and then go to the desktop or other save location that was selected to view the reports. As we can see, all reports are in their designated location. We'll start by taking a look at the Digital Century Activity Report. So, with the Digital Century Activity Report open, let's talk a little bit about it. Now, one of the things I want to draw your attention to is the username field. Now, let's go back to our configuration video where we made a recommendation of always having each user log in with a unique username. One of the reasons can be seen here. As you can see from the alarms entry in the report, they were cleared by admin. Now, if we have multiple users clearing alarms, say there was a critical alarm that was cleared but no one ever did anything about it, in this setup, if everyone's logging in as admin, we don't know who did that, why it was cleared. We do have a date and time stamp, and we can try to track it down that way, but that's going to take extra work. So the solution would be to give everyone a unique username. That way, when running reports, we can identify who did what and when. Scrolling to the right, we can see the description field. This shows the description of the cleared alarms. This goes back to making sure we have unique usernames. Had one of these been a critical message that was cleared but was not resolved, we would want to know who cleared that alarm and why it was not resolved before clearing. Now, if we scroll down the list to take a look at the client section, we'll be able to see what IP address they connected from and the activity type that was done. So we can use this to determine who is logging in remotely and from what IP they're coming in from. Next, Let's move on to the camera configuration report. So taking a look at the camera configuration report, what we're going to see is the camera's IP address, the name, the scene, and any motion settings. We can also see the last person to modify settings for this camera, which again brings us back to having a unique ID for each logged in operator, so that way we can identify who is making changes. Now, let's take a look at the Digital Century Camera Usage Report. Taking a look at the Digital Century Camera Usage Report here, we can see the individual cameras and how much space they're using on the drive. Now, this is very important. Now, going back to what I said in the beginning about being able to identify what cameras are using more space. Now, cameras, the busier the area, the more space it's going to record. Motion will save some of that space, and you'll notice that cameras that use motion typically will use less space. However, if it is an extremely busy scene, or if there are flashing lights, or if there is a lot of scene changes, that's going to consume more space. Also, if a camera is going bad and inputting bad video, which is going to be recorded, that will also increase disk space. We can come here, identify those cameras, and resolve those issues. Scrolling down here, we can see it lists usage by day. This will help us identify what camera is consuming more disk space than it should be. Then we can move on to resolving those issues. That's going to do it for our video today. Thank you for watching a DS ControlPoint troubleshooting series. If you found this video helpful, please remember to like and subscribe. And remember, at Pelco, we've got it all covered.